Alright, so we're back, and let's move to part 2 of the run. Probably my favorite part of the run, because of late game, it's got quicker movement, trench coat, comes down to more faster execution, and the game picks up speed. So you start cruising through rooms a lot faster, and it's very rewarding when you hit these like tough strats. So right off the bat, you want to go back to main menu, start up, continue. Do not start a new one. Try to get into that mental barrier that if you're not ready to get used to like where continue and start new are, then just take the extra second, because you don't want to throw away a good run because you just spent like 30 minutes resetting an error view every time, and then you just get a perfect run, a perfect start. So yeah, just holding right, more holding right. These guys all take one hit. Your disruptor has been upgraded to level 2, so we're turning up the power. We're gonna have to phase through a couple walls here. So a cool thing about this part of the speedrun is it automatically saves you at this rebirth chamber as a part of like, hey, this is where you have to, this is where it becomes linear in a way where, or not linear, well, yeah, basically linear, just like, hey, this is where you need to go through this phase now, or you have to there's no backtracking, because it's like getting to this point in a vanilla run, it takes a lot of exploration. There are no fast save warps, so on your first playthrough you're like, how the hell do I get over through this jump and see? And I'm like, you can actually do it, but until you want to learn the speed run, the most efficient way is to not die. Use that save warp to your favor. So now this one becomes our save, and we don't even have to save. So we're gonna do some kind of pixel perfect jumping over these dillos. You can actually jump up there real quick and jump before he gets you. Roly-polies. Here, you're gonna bonk your head here, wait a second, and that's how you get through that room. This guy, let's just hack him, because he is, the first guy is a pain in the butt. I usually hack him immediately, as a, other than, because if you are trying to get his head stuck up into that little spot, he's not as lenient as the others are. But to do that is you fall off this tile. So when you come out of the tunnel, you can just hack him immediately. Be safe about it. Move on. Phase through the wall, and then you can do the you can hack the other guys too, so they stay on the other side of this tile. But it's up to you. But I'm going to show you the quicker way to do it, and that's just simply jumping on these platforms and jumping immediately as soon as you touch the ground. It's kind of the sweet spot. This one, right there at that end of the shadow block. A double tile right there. It looks like this one. As soon as I get to the end of that, I jump. And we're just gonna make our way up. This room's tough because you have to make sure that your jumps to the side are really long jumps and at the edge of the platform. So I like to change the disruptor before entering to this room. Jump up and shoot. And you can hit that guy with a kilter once if I hit the shot. Hold right here, jump. Oh, I was supposed to jump there. Jump here. So it's 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. Just bump your head. You can actually jump over this guy. But I kind of messed that up. Oh no. Alright, so we're safe. But those spiky stars, they do a lot of damage. Alright, so an automated fight. Just try to place Trace far left and vision dead center of Trace's shots to speed the fight up. That's about it. So, unless you're going for a world record, get the HP. This loses 7 seconds. And it's worth it. So, 12.5 seconds for the first HP, 7 seconds. Yeah, I mean, that's 20 seconds. If you're going for a world record, you have to pick this HP up on your late game. And take away your Uraku HP node. But if you want sub 38, sub 40, sub 38, even sub 36, like, you can pick up these nodes. You don't lose that much time, and it's worth it, especially for Arabu. As soon as you get that node, you're gonna save warp. Here's your auto save. We never saved here at the rebirth chamber, but it sends us right back. And we're going to continue up the same way. The roly-poly is a quicker jump this time. I missed it again. You got to go on his roll back there. So the first phase, you go before his roll. Second phase, you go after his roll. Here, I like to hop down here and then try to take it one hit. Hop down into the spot, jump up immediately, and then take the hit, damage boost through, and just try to get up there quick. Hold left here. That's pretty much it. You want to jump as soon as you hit the ground on this guy, because he might tag you. Pretty straightforward. Go after the roll here and try to take a hit. Throw your drone up. Get trench coat. Back to title. Continue. So now we're gonna do new strats. Eden has been implemented with a rocket jump to save you 6, maybe 5.5 seconds first try. But unless you want to do that, you have to really practice your trench coat, and that takes time. So by going fast, you're tapping your D-pad or your keyboard, double tapping in the direction you want to go. Okay, so by doing that, I was able to get here and not take a hit. Now there are a like routing you could do by, you can combo your dashing with disruptor, giving them hits, and then little movements like this, bunching these guys, the umbrella guys together. They're pinwheels. Pinwheel. You can kill them in like a few, like maybe 3 hits from a Kilver. If you damage them a couple times with the disruptor, they take maybe 4 or 5 hits total with the Kilver. And you can also drillver, you know, speed up the damage intake. But what I did was I was able to make it through there and get up here immediately without even having to worry about time loss with dealing with the enemies. Here, you want to do our you want to practice our rocket jump, and this is pretty tough. I want to get this firefly off my back first. But if you're running, and I don't like to dash here because I like to set up the first input of a rocket jump, and the first input is actually your movement. So if I'm holding right, then I can get like a sideways like double dash that's really quick. But if I am holding up and right at the same time, I can get a, yeah, I am just kind of like a quick tutorial for like sub 40. How you doing, man? So what I was saying is holding right and up at the same time is your first input, and the longer you hold down jump, the higher you go. So you want to make sure that for a rocket jump you're doing all these things. The second input is going to be up, actually, and since right and up counts as one input and hitting up counts as your second, it considers right up a part of your trench coat dash. So at the very peak of your jump, as you're holding down your jump button, which is A for me, you want to double tap at the peak and you'll get a second trench coat dash, and that is what we call a rocket jump. So once again, it takes a few tries. And the second one, I like to do up and then up left and dash diagonally through the corner. It's just like something that is a little bit easier for me to do. When you get to here, you want to kind of dash and jump with your disruptor. You want to purposely take a hit by this glitched area, and it actually doesn't do that much damage to you, as you can see. So you want to take a hit, jump, and try to put your body right where the other side of this little bundle is, and double tap your trench coat to go through it quickly. To play it safe in this next part, kill these guys like this, 5 shots here, hop up here. Just distract him to get him out of the way, and then make your way through the tunnel. But to do it quicker, this is not good, but Alright. Yep. That's why I was saying it's not good. Alright, so we're gonna play it safe again. Because if you come in here with low HP, this guy will always drop HP, which is nice. And that little bit of HP will go a long way. So we're going to implement the fast strats without the pinwheels in here. So basically, you go up here, dash up, jump right here to just kind of get this guy to move to the right. As soon as he moves to the right, jump up here to get this pinwheel to move to the left. As soon as he moves past that block, the guy on the right is getting pretty close to you. You thread the needle, and that's how you get up the fast way. You can jump right there and actually trench coat through that door, or on that platform. And it's actually really nice because you can land on that platform and then jump back the other way as well. That's another rocket jump for, like, if you've practiced that, you can save maybe a half a second there with a good, perfect rocket jump. But I just recommend taking your time, jumping on the platforms, and just being quick about it. Those fireflies will leave you alone as if you're moving quickly and avoiding them. But as soon as you get close to them, they attach to you. You need to aim lock and kind of use your Kilver is the best weapon, and break them off of you. But when they break off of you, they turn into little particles that can do the same thing. So they're very, very ruthless. So I just recommend just being quick around the fireflies. There are a lot of fast strats, and what I'm gonna do is kind of manipulate my movement up here to do fast strats, but I'm also gonna take some slower end room strats to get HP and pull off this Uku fast kill without hesitation. So got lucky there. I mean, the fireflies are just do a lot of damage, and like, even though we got the HP node after Uruku and we got the HP after Vision, look at that. Look at how much they messed me up. So here we're gonna like use visual cues, kind of set up this quick kill. And I really like my setup. It's pretty safe. Stop right here, wait a second, pause, move to this block. Oops, that might be bad. Oh, jump up here, disruptor, get close, come back here, run and take the body hit, and shoot the bugs that you had. Pretty straightforward. That setup with the with stopping after the first initial shots, he's supposed to shoot his splash damage behind you further, and they got really close to my hitbox, but luckily I didn't get damaged by that, because that hit right there does a lot more damage than your normal body hit. And if I took that hit, I might have not been able to take a body hit, but a body hit only does, like, I want to say 30% of 100, so it could have killed. I mean, does it take more than 30% of 100, or maybe 40%, maybe 30? It's very minimal. Alright. Yeah, the blast would have killed me. Yeah. I mean, I was at 115 to 100. Yeah, 100. I was at 115 to 130. So I'm left with 100. I think the blast would have killed me there. So as soon as you pick up drone teleport, just go back to title, continue, and now you are back in Ukana. What's up, BGR? So we're just gonna hop on the trolley, the taxi, take the Taxi Express, provided by Ophelia. As soon as you hit the Eden checkpoint, try to dash so you can save frames. A little too soon there, but if done at the correct time, you could just keep it going. Here I use upwards dashing and platforming, but since you have drone teleport, you can even do more than that. But we're gonna practice. We're gonna go all over drone teleport when we get to the upper curve. So let's get on up there. Where am I going? Alright, yeah. Man, it's been a while. Alright. Yes, no out of bounds. But we're gonna go to over out of bounds tech afterwards. Just add it. It's better to go over no out of bounds first because of Ikumar is really fun to learn. Make sure you're holding down jump because you can break the bricks faster instead of just tapping jump. Alright, I make it look easy, and you're probably wondering how the hell I'm doing this quick swapping with the drone, because there's a cooldown. So now that we have drone launch, teleport back to Trace, go up here, and this is where the run gets funky. Let's save here, just because it's Ikumar and it is a pain in the ass. I'm gonna go fill up my coffee. I'll be right back. Alright, so now we're going into drone swapping tech. So if you notice with drone launch, as soon as you hash the egg and teleport back, there's a cooldown on your launch again. So what you have to do is you have to cancel cooldown with either drill or disruptor. And having this on your triggers for the controller, I think, is convenient because you can free up your thumbs for platforming and movement input. But it's also a preference if you want to roll your buttons, if you want to have disruptor or drill on a button as well, and you can roll that with jump. It's perfectly fine. So if you dash and shoot your drone, it's gonna go higher. See, it literally took that much time to get my shot back. 1, 2, 3. Takes 3 seconds to get your shot back. But by using your disruptor, but your drill, you can continue the chain. Then you can get better with rolling. Wow, that looks really cool up here. Anyways, yeah, it's all about practice, and whether you use drill or disruptor, you can cancel the cooldown time and chain it. And by chaining your dashes, directional dashes with drone launch, you can fly. But until then, you might not be comfortable with all those inputs of dashing and drone teleport swap. So you can just focus on directional input until you get the hang of adding those dashes in. So now we're going to Ikumar. You can also kill this guy. So if I go to the right a little more, I will trigger that guy to come over here. But if I dash through these two tiles and stay to the left, I can kill this guy and pick up some HP, because you're gonna need all the HP going into the next part. Dash through here, and when you land here, immediately shoot your drone, hop up here because of that small gap. Now we're gonna start chaining. Chaining angled, sideways, dashes with drone teleport. I did take one shot from an ancient sentry, and it did 160 damage, it looks like. And if you're coming into, if you're going for a world record and you're coming in here with 100, 200, 300, what is it, 300 HP, then it's tough. No, it's 400 HP. So I got 2 extra. Yeah. So it's really important that you take your time in this area and learn, eat room to room, do do that save I just did and just practice Iku on him, because the hits from these enemies are just ruthless. The ancient sentries will mess you up pretty bad. Alright. So I recommend going into this next room not to really focus on dashing, but to focus on your drone teleport. So you want to hatch Trace. You want to hatch your drone before Trace is basically vulnerable to any damage until you hatch your drone. So if you see a sentry and he's shooting at you and you shoot your drone, the shots are going to damage Trace until you hit Y or whatever your button for drone is to hatch it. So your second input obviously teleports you. So you're from a shot into a teleport is three of the same button inputs in a row. So you want to make sure that you hatch it, provide this safety barrier on Trace, because he is pretty much vulnerable until you hatch the drone. Just stay in drone here. If you want to like look up the speed strats, you want to be dashing through enemies and taking crazy hits, but stay on your drone, stay in your drone, just fall down here. This sentry is actually a safety health friend. He will drop you HP. So before you go through the Speedrun key, which is probably one of the tougher parts of the run, you could also get the HP here to give you the extra assurance that you're not making this item pickup. This is really all about quick movement. So what I like to do is I like to start off and I like to position myself right here and make sure that that first shot doesn't tag you in the feet, so stay back. And when he's right there, I use kind of visual cues. I kind of like just go hard, just go ham. As soon as like you line up a shot, you want to be quick. And you want to kind of use your platforming and drone teleport just to get through here. So see how it goes. Oh, hello, Angie. So I took a hit there, not good. And that's that. So what I did was I took Trace and I shot the drone, hatched it, and as soon as the sentry took a shot, I just hopped over his projectile. So I didn't. You want to take, if you're gonna take a shot by a sentry, it's with the drone. You want it to be a body hit, because a regular shot does 200 damage to you. So, and I think a body hit does less than that. Yeah, body hit does 50. So now just continue down here, shoot your drone. If you didn't kill the guy to get HP, you can kill him here on your way back. Make sure you stay at that corner, hold aim block, and take your time. This next part is really tricky. As soon as you approach the corner, these guys really want to come out. So like, you have to have very quick drone launch here. You can just, once you get to that second platform, if you're not comfortable with your drone launching, you can just use your regular platform to get up here. Now on our way back. just use your drone, make it all the way through here, and come through here and teleport, or you can try to save time and you know I'll be down for a rando race. Try to use those teleports and double dashing. Picked up our 4th power node. If you're gonna take a hit by this guy, make sure you take a body hit, because he's gonna hurt you. When you fall down this tunnel, go to the left first to trigger that enemy. Teleport right here and just drill back. This guy's fast. Pick up the HP, why not? It's free. Don't you want to make it to the end of the run? When you're in a bind for HP, use your drone's HP. That's what he's there for, right? Just make sure you teleport to the drone and not back to Trace. For a beginner, Green Hell, save here. I definitely recommend it. And since I saved at the upper curve, I'm just gonna replace my save here. And we're gonna go quickly. Here I like to eliminate this tree bush. He will latch onto you. So just shoot him right away, and then try to stay on the very top of this next part with your drone launching. Just like that. Make sure you do not teleport in the air with those ancient worms, because they do as much damage to you as the sentries. Alright, got red coat. And this is where, if you didn't save, you would go all the way back to Ukana. And you would be in really good shape right now with just going straight to endgame. But if you're a beginner, you can still do this route to get sub 40. But you're backtracking, so it's going to be a little bit more extensive. Yeah, it's good to learn the original route because you learn a lot of the map that you don't see anymore. By taking that safety save right there and Ikumar, you can just get the another HP away. Wow, that was really clean. new alt bosses with out of bounds. You should, dude. I gotta like create more algorithm on the speedrun website so I can add out of bounds to certain categories, but not all the like it's so annoying. You have to add a new algorithm for if you want to only put them on certain categories, or you can have a tab for all of them. It's just like, why can't I just pick and choose multiple categories? It's so frustrating. It's like I need someone else to get that website better coded. I mean, it's okay. Just pain in the butt in certain areas. Dude, hell yeah. The VGR code speedruns. You name a game and we'll speedrun it. Like, kind of like Donkey Kong Country has their own, like, but they even went to, so which game has their own? Mega Man is still independently a their own kind of speedrun website. So this is everybody's favorite part as a beginner. Is getting to the top of this. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of practice. But what I'm doing is I'm chaining dashing and drone teleport. The trick is you want to hatch the egg right about where it's about to hit, but not as it hits. I mean, if you do where it hits, you can still red code through. But I like to do it right before it hits, and you know, switch your drone and dash through it. Go right here on the left. Just want 2 shots to get up here if you chain dashes. And your movement's gonna get good with practice. There's safety save right here for beginners. This is called the Sentinel. Is a pain in the ass save, but since we have so much HP, we're gonna just kind of like just go for massive DPS. And you wouldn't normally have this much HP, but you could. It's because we picked up the Ikumar HP node, but so I'm comboing red coat, Kilver, and drill all at the same time, trying to red coat down here. That is Sentinel. So I'm going to show you a safer way to kill Sentinel with cycles. So if you're going into the fight with kind of low HP or not kind of going for a better score, so you're not saving, show you some cycles. Oh, well no, he's dead. I tried to back out before he died. Anyways, you want to stay to the right or the left to the laser right here, and you want to just kind of do baby hops and just red coat over damage. You can add the drone too, but I just say just stay basic with Kilver. The chaining the drill is very hard, and you will miss inputs with your just regular weapon if you don't do it right. But now that Sentinel's dead, go up here. There's actually the HP fragment right here that will give us the HP we have right now with the Uku node. This room. I mean, just practice it, man. There's a lot of faster ways to do that room, but like, if you learn your red coat movement and your drone teleport, you start implementing them together. I'm just basically showing you how to not take any hits from the enemies and be safe about it. Want to do a dash there, a little jump here. That's it. That was Disco Inferno. Thedos fight, very tricky. And it's basically the run killer for a lot of people. Especially if you're going in here without saving. Every time you save, 58. $15 from you would lose right there for saving. So that's that. The Thedos fight is one of the more difficult fights. You want to constantly be damaging the orb. It's really important that you hold down jump when you're jumping up. You want to get your maximum height. You're taking damage boost from the sentries. You can dash. It'll reset your red code dash, and you can kind of float in the air and just deal massive damage to the orb with red coat and Kilver. Try to implement the drill next time. I like leaving one of these the first guys around. He's not as annoying, but eventually everybody's gonna have it. It's harder to chain the drill. Back to regular. That's pretty much it. My inputs were on the screen. X being jump, square being shoot, triangle being drone, right trigger being drill, right bumper being disruptor, analog as well as D-pad, aim lock at left bumper, grapple at circle. That's it. That was my tutorial on just kind of a sub 40 80% run. So that is a way you will easily get sub 40, implementing those safe strats as well as getting the HP upgrades, I would try to definitely keep your original save point in Erebu for the first save warp, and keeping your Vision Ukana save point until the very end, and after Red Coat going back there for in-game. Those are, if you can't make it to in-game, definitely taking the Ukama, the in-game save warps before Sujin Key, as well as before Green Hell, because backtracking only loses about like a minute, 15 seconds maybe, well, probably on the taxi it probably loses 2 minutes total, but that 2 minutes for a finish run is worth it until you get better and better, and then you can implement newer strats. But I'll be right back, and I'll give some closing thoughts, as well as maybe a little bit of out of bounds tech. We'll load up a save